Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here, and recently on the Facebook Hooplovers page I asked you what you want to learn, and the responses were amazing, and I totally encourage you to send in more responses. What do you want to learn with your hoop? And I'm going to do my best to create some tutorials to answer you. So, there were lots, and there are some good ones that I'm creating tutorials for, but one here, Angie, she wrote that she wants to learn shoulder paddling, helicopter spins, and knee hooping, and then being able to use her hand to bring it back up and overhead. Alright, now I've been wanting to make a knee or leg hula hooping tutorial for a really long time, so thanks Angie for letting me know that you'd like to learn knee hooping. This is such a big gig, and I am going to give you all the tips that I've learned over the years from my own personal practice and from watching lots of amazing hoopers master knee hooping. Alright, so here's the thing, hoopers, I'm not going to call it knee hooping anymore, because if you can't hoop on your legs, then you've got no way of being able to get it up and down your legs from your knees to your hips to your waist. Sorry. Some people, this takes a long time. One of my most amazing hoop teachers in the beginning, Bunny Hoop Star, said 2 years, get out of town. But 2 years to perfect it, I think it took me longer, honestly. So give yourself lots and lots of time. Now, hoops love bare skin, so make it easy for yourself, practice in your living room, create some space, and take your pants off. So you're going to start on your waist, and I want you just to see if you can let it slowly drop down to your hips, keeping your posture nice and tall, and shimmy it back up. So slowing the hoop down, dropping it down to your hips, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle back up. Never lowering down or pushing the bum out or letting the knees slide out. Leg hooping is all about making sure that your pelvis stays in alignment with the rest of your body. So, step number 1, waist to hips and back up. Got it? Let's go a little bit lower. Waist to just underneath your bottom and back up. Now chances are you've probably got the leg slide where you go from your waist to your hips and then it goes down to your knees and you're like, whoa, I'm here. That's technically not leg hooping, but you'll get there. So the other thing that I see a lot apart from the leg slide is once the hoop does get down to the knees, everything goes down. So the bum goes out and the knees go down and the toes go in, and this is what you want to avoid. I used to think I was so cool because I could do this and I was like, wow! But I realized that once my pelvis was tucked under, my posture was nice and tall, that I had a lot more control. So leg hooping is a step-by-step process, going from the waist to the butt, to the waist, to just underneath the bottom. And then most hoopers find that they have this void in their center or mid-thigh that the hoop just kind of drops down. So if that is happening, you're going to need to give yourself some practice in that center. So to do that, you're going to let the hoop drop as far as you have control, no lower. If you feel like it's going to slide down, then wiggle it back up. Dropping it down, no lower than you have control, and wiggle it back up. Shimmy it back up. The biggest tip for making the hoop move up, getting it up, is make movement above the hoop, because it doesn't matter how fast or hard you go, the hoop's going to stay there until you make movement above the hoop. So once you've drilled the hips, the top of the thighs, the mid-thighs, then you can let it slide down little by little, inching it down just to above the knees. Now, for anyone who's practiced knee hooping or leg hooping, you know that the hoop can give you a lot of bruises. Knees are really sensitive, legs are really sensitive, so be kind. Now you can notice that even though the hoop is really close to my knees or down on my knees, I'm not losing my posture. I'm keeping my pelvis tucked under, and I'm pulsing with my legs, not bouncing. Bouncing means the hoop's going to drop to the floor. Okay, so the cool thing is with hooping, you have a lot of different ways to do this. Once your hoop gets to your knees and you feel like you've got a bit of control on your legs, you've got some options. You can pulse with 2 legs at the same time. And by pulsing, I mean you're pushing forwards and backwards quite rapidly. You're not bouncing. Or you can choose to activate one leg, keeping one leg still and pushing with the other. I like to activate with my right leg because I pull my left leg out when I'm doing all of those crazy balancing tricks, so it keeps my right leg activated and my hoop spinning. Now, to get it back up, to coil it back up, to wind it back up, to magically make it levitate, you've got some options. If you are a 2-leg pusher or pulser, you can create the internal spiral. So squeezing your inner thighs together, holding your pelvic floor under, keeping your body nice and tall, and going really fast and wiggling, wiggling, wiggling above the hoop. That's option number 1. If you're a 1-leg activator, you might like to use that activated leg, that powerful leg, to give the hoop a little bit of a push forwards and backwards. So you're pushing with the front of the leg and the back. Front, back, front, back, front, back. Now what you don't want to do is this. Whether you're a 2-leg pusher or a 1-leg pusher, you don't want to go down. Let your bottom go out or your knees go down. You don't want to kick too much. You want to keep that hoop posture and that control. And you're going to get that from practicing from the top down. So, in a spiral, nice and fast, all the way up, or that 1-leg kick. Kick, and up. Now we're hoop dancers, so we don't want to sound like this all the time. We want to dance around. So once you're starting to have some control and activation on your legs, start to move it, start to groove it. Pushing in to your hoop with all of the contact points on your legs and on your knees. This is all about building up your legs' intelligence and understanding your hoop and body coordination. Now, it's tough stuff, leg hooping, don't get me wrong, it takes a while, but it's so worth it, and you're going to have all these other amazing tricks and flow that come out of being able to activate your legs. Now, I'm going to give you some troubleshooting tips if it's just not happening for you, but please, whatever you do, don't give up, because it will happen. So, if the hoop falls on the floor, which it's going to, it is just going to happen. Gravity's going to take it down. Even for the best leg hoopers, this happens. If it does fall on the floor, you've got some options. As always, it's about how you pick it up from the floor. So, let's just say I totally lose it. I can't get it up. It's not working. My knees are hurting. I'm really puffed out, and I'm just going to let it drop. Here's a really cool way to pick it up. When your hoop falls on the floor, you're going to have the hoop on one side and your other foot on the outside. So your hoop has fallen on the floor, just like this. Down it goes, and you are going to step out so that the hoop's on one side and your foot is on the other. Now, if you squeeze your feet or your ankles together, the side foot that the hoop's on can pick up the hoop behind the other leg and give it to that other opposite hand, so that you can look like a total hula hooping pro and get straight back into your hoop dance. So let's try that one more time. So it falls down on the ground. Oh well, it's going to happen. You're going to step out, kick it behind you, and give it to this other hand. Takes a bit of balance, but you can do it. Now, other ways, if the hoop does drop on the floor, you can always do the cool roll and pick up. Or, here's a fun one. Be careful, I don't know a good dentist, so you want to make sure that you protect your face at all times. You're going to pop the hoop on the outside part of your ankle, arms out, knee goes towards your forehead, and you're going to duck through and kick up and in. Ta-da! So there's lots of cool ways to pick up that hoop from the floor when it falls. Another really cool way to get the hoop up and off your knees, if you're finding it to be a challenge or you're in that stage where you're just practicing the coiling up or the spiraling up, is to use your hand. So just as you would lift the hoop up off your waist into the sky, you can do the same from your knees. Now you're going to make sure that you do this quickly and smoothly in that path right beside your body. Otherwise, it's going to get caught on your back or your head. So what we're doing, if you're going to the left, you're going to use your right hand, and of course vice versa. So the hoop is spinning around. You don't have a lot of time. You've got to get down there and get back up really fast. So it looks like this. Hand goes in the back and straight up. Now it always helps to turn. So let's try that one more time. So from the knees, hand goes in the back really quick. You got one beat. You can do it. In the back, straight up. And it's off your knees. That's a pretty cool trick if you're getting stuck coiling it up. So there you have it, a few quick little tips on how to get that leg hooping happening. So things to remember is that posture is key. If you are moving your body down, your bottom out, your knees down, your chest down, then your hoop is going to fall to the floor and you can't keep momentum. So really make sure to keep your pelvis tucked under and pulse with those legs. The other thing is you have options. You can pulse with 2 legs at once or activate 1 leg, but it's not a bounce. It's a pulse. So keeping yourself nice and tall and high at all times. The other thing is that you want to start from the top and work your way down. Don't just let that belly to knee slide happen. Have control all the way. So belly to hips and shimmy back up, coil back up, make movement above the hoop. Just below the bottom and back up. And then mid-thighs. That's that kind of no-go zone where a lot of hoopers just don't have the control in their mid-thighs. So sometimes it's really hard to join up the knees and the belly. So practice, drill, have fun, play. And don't forget to dance. Knee hooping sometimes stops hula hoopers from dancing. Move around, play around. Shift your weight, play with your balance. And of course, always have fun, don't give up, and send us a video when you get it done. Thank you, hoopers. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please make sure that you share it with your hooper friends so that they can strengthen their super hooper powers. And if you have any requests about anything to do with hooping, please leave me a comment on the Hooplovers Facebook page.